Good morning, Larimer County, and welcome to our Tuesday, April 16th, 2024 Administrative Matters meeting. It is 9 a.m., and as is our tradition, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you all very much. My name is John Kafalis, Commissioner from District 1, joined by my colleague Jody Shattuck McNally, Commissioner from District 2, and Kristen Stevens is excused today. We're also joined by Heather from the Clerk and Recorder's Office, Lorenda, our County Manager, Tom from Public Affairs, and Sarah from our County Commissioner's Office. We'll begin with public comment. It looks like we don't have a sellout crowd today. No one has signed up for in-person public comment. Sarah, has anyone registered to offer public comment through the phone?
No, Commissioner.
All right. Then it is appropriate to close public comment, which we have done, and we'll now move on to approval of the minutes. Commissioner Shattuck McNally, would you be kind enough to offer the motion, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes for the week of April 8th, 2024.
Thank you. That's a proper motion. I don't believe we have any further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes 2-0. The next item on our agenda, excuse me, is the upcoming schedule review. Sarah, that is you.
This is the Commissioner's schedule for April 22nd through the 28th, 2024. On Monday, April 22nd, from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session with Leslie Ellis, Director of Community Planning, Infrastructure, and Resources in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., there will be land use items with the Development Review Team. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be in the hearing room on the first floor or virtually via Zoom. From 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m., there will be land use items with the Development Review Team. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be in the hearing room on the first floor or virtually via Zoom. On Tuesday, April 23rd, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be an Administrative Matters meeting in the hearing room on the first floor. From 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., there will be Administrative Direction to County Management in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. From 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Associated Student of Colorado Student University Sustainability Roundtable at the Laurie Student Center at 1101 Center Avenue Mall in Fort Collins. On Wednesday, April 24th, from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., Commissioners Shattuck, McNally, and Kafalis may attend the North Fort Collins Business Association meeting at the Rocky Mountain Innisphere at 320 East Vine Drive in Fort Collins. From 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., Commissioners Stevens and Shattuck McNally may attend the Center for Family Outreach Breakfast at the Fort Collins Marriott at 350 East Horsetooth Road in Fort Collins. From 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Big Thompson Watershed Health Partnership meeting via Google Meet. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., Commissioners Kafalis and Stevens will attend the Solid Waste Policy Advisory Committee update meeting in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. From 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the Livermore Fire District Appreciation Dinner at the Forks Mercantile and Saloon at 17685 North Highway 287 in Livermore. From 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will attend the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at the Larimer County Loveland campus at 200 Peridot Avenue in Loveland or virtually via Zoom. From 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens will attend the Fair Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at the McKee 4-H Youth and Community Building at 5280 Arena Circle in Loveland or virtually via Zoom. On Thursday, April 25th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Commissioners may participate in the Colorado Counties Inc. Steering Committee meetings. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at 800 Grant Street, Suite 500 in Denver or virtually via Zoom. From 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual Counties and Commissioners Acting Together Governing Board meeting. From 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., Commissioner Cavalis will host a community conversation for the Red Feather Lakes community. Guests and topics will be announced prior to the meeting at 58 Firehouse Lane in Red Feather Lakes. From 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Commissioners Cavalis and Stevens will attend the Poudre River Library District Community Leadership Roundtable at the Old Town Library at 201 Peterson Street in Fort Collins. From 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Commissioner Cavalis will attend the Red Feather Lakes Planning Advisory Committee meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it's at 44 Firehouse Lane, Red Feather Lakes, or virtually via Zoom. From 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Regional Opioid Abatement Council meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it's at the Larimer County Behavioral Health Services Building at 2260 West Trilby Road in Fort Collins, or virtually via Zoom. From 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual non-attainment area air pollution mitigation enterprise meeting. From 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Open Lands Advisory Board meeting at the Horsetooth Area Information Center at 4200 West County Road 38E in Fort Collins. From 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioners may attend the National Crime Victims' Rights Week celebration at the Lincoln Center at 417 West Magnolia Street in Fort Collins. From 5:45 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioners Cavalis and Shattuck McNally will attend the Career Rise Team graduation ceremony at the Rialto Theater Center at 228 East 4th Street in Loveland. On Friday, April 26th, from 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual Colorado Department of Human Services Trails Executive Steering Committee meeting. From 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Commissioners may attend the Larimer County Human Services Child, Youth, Family Division All-Staff Award Ceremony at Club Tico at 1599 City Park Drive in Fort Collins. On Saturday, April 27th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Commissioners Cavalis and Shattuck McNally may attend the Larimer County Emergency Services Unit Live Burn Observation and Questions and Answers event at Glacier View Fire Protection District Station 1, 1414 Green Mountain Drive in Livermore. On Sunday, April 28th, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., Commissioner Cavalis will attend the High Plains Honor Flight Escort of Heroes at the Ranch at 4280 Arena Circle in Loveland.
Thank you, Sarah. Commissioner, any questions or comments?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Let's go backwards, Sarah. I will also be attending the Honor Flight Escort of Heroes at 8 o'clock. I just haven't had a chance to put that on my calendar. I need to do some finagling on the schedule. We have steering committees now for CCI on the 25th, so I need to move some things off that. But I still have my Common Grounds. I don't know if you announced that on the 25th. And Estes, so I'm going to go from Denver to Estes Park that morning. Bless you. And then I'm attending on the 20th, and that was the 25th, I apologize. The 23rd, I have the Alternatives to Violence Purple Ribbon Breakfast at Embassy Suites starting at 7:30 to 8:30. Then I'm coming to our meeting, and I think that is, I think that's it. Oh, and I think, I probably will not be able to go to the Inmosphere North College Business Association because I need to be at the Brett, so you can take that one off because I'll be going to the Family Outreach Breakfast. And then the partnership, health partnership one, I'm just going to attend for a little bit just to, but I have, do you have the Forest Health Council on Wednesday, the 24th? I don't know if I heard you mention that.
I don't see it.
Yeah, so that's the Colorado Forest Health Council advisory meeting. That's virtual, and that is from 9 to 3 on the 24th.
Are you done?
Yeah, I think so. I just wanted to double check. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. The only comment I have, two comments. One is regarding Red Feather Lakes on April 25th. I believe our guest for the community conversation is Lee Cooper, our Veteran Services Officer. I would confirm that with Jordan, please.
Okay.
And secondly, I'm not exactly sure, but that there's certainly overlap, but I would change will to may regarding the Red Feather Lakes Planning Advisory Committee. I believe that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, we now can go on to the consent agenda. And for the public's information, these are routine matters, administrative matters. Commissioner can pull an item off the consent agenda if they choose, but typically these are not controversial and more routine administrative in nature. I will go through the consent agenda. It's actually very brief, so you'll all be happy to know that, and then we'll go on from there. Today's consent agenda, April 16th, 2024. There are two agreements. One is a second amendment to professional services, an operational agreement, P19-18 Behavioral Health Facility, and this is a contract amendment to the operational agreement for the Longview campus, the behavioral health facility between the county and Summit Stone Health Partners. This is necessary to correct an error made in the monthly rent calculation listed on the First Amendment, lease amendment. The terms are July 1 of 2023, through June 30th, 2028, and the dollar amount involved is approximately $34,000. The next item on the next agreement is a street oversizing agreement for Phase 1 improvements to Fairgrounds Avenue, and this is a reimbursement from the City of Loveland for work that the ranch did regarding Fairgrounds Avenue to widen it, make it more of a boulevard. We're seeking reimbursement, and this is once that reimbursement occurs, this will be paid in full. That dollar amount is approximately $3.5 million for that work. Next, we move on to appointments. Recommended reappointment to the Parks Advisory Board, Kathy Mayer, reappoint for a full term to the Parks Advisory Board beginning July 1 of this year and ending June 30th of 2027. We next have liquor licenses. There are three of those. The first is a liquor license renewal for the Seven Keys Lodge up in Estes Park. And this is a hotel and restaurant type license approval and issuance. The next is also liquor license renewal, Sundance Trail Guest Ranch. This is up towards Red Feather Lakes. License type is retail liquor store, approval and issuance. Finally, liquor license renewal for the Via Tatra in Lyons, Colorado, hotel and restaurant, approval and issuance. The final item is under miscellaneous is updated Behavioral Health Policy Council bylaws, and this is there are three entities connected to the Behavioral Health Services, the Policy Council. This is an update to the bylaws. That is all. Go figure. Commissioner, is there anything you'd like to pull off the consent agenda?
Yes, I would.
Oh, and what is that?
The behavioral health policy bylaws. If I could pull that, please, Sir. I had a quick question that I didn't get
I,
done.
I believe that's fine. Let us approve the consent agenda minus that item, and then we'll ask Laura or Ryan to come up and respond to your question.
Okay, thank you.
So would you offer that amendment, please? Or that motion, excuse me.
Certainly, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda for April 16th, 2024, minus the item in miscellaneous, the updated behavioral health policy council bylaws.
Thank you. That's a proper motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes 2-0. We'll now look at the miscellaneous item. Laura, thanks for being here. Ryan, if either of you want to come up and respond to the question, I think that'll be sufficient. I don't think we need to go over the bylaws. Would you identify yourself for the record, please?
Of course.
Of course.
I am Laura Walker. I serve as the Human and Economic Health Director for the county.
Thanks. You're on, Commissioner.
Thank you. So, Laura, I think at our Behavioral Health Policy Council meeting, and I know Ryan was there, I had a question about that one item there about, and I think I had brought this up to kind of follow up with some language. Did that language get changed or entered?
It did.
Okay.
Sorry, this seems very sensitive today.
They're trying to accommodate my needs, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as it isn't booming for everyone else. My understanding is that the revisions that you had asked for had been given back to us by our Assistant County Manager, Lori Cadridge, after her discussion with you. And that was the deletion of some of those phrases were part of the final document that we sent to the county attorney for approval.
Okay.
And that's what has come back, so that was resolved.
Okay, great. Last week was a little bit, lots going on, so I had trouble tracking everything. So that got done. That's all I needed to confirm that, because that was a concern. And so if that was done and it's gone through the attorney and those changes were made, then I'm fine. So I just wanted to double check that before you approved them, because we've had to kind of, with this council, just it's a lot of technical things having all these things. So I just want to make sure we get it right. So I know it's right, but you know what I'm saying, just all the little, it's the little words and stuff that really make it matter. So
I believe the new version that Lori Cadridge provided to me was just more simplified and streamlined. And it took out some of that confusing language that you had identified.
Okay, great. I apologize. I didn't have internet connectivity over the weekend, and so I could not get into all of the and trying to read things off my cell phone and trying to do hotspots just didn't work as well as I hoped. So I appreciate that. And that's all the question and concern I have. If that's okay, then I will, and thank you for coming and being here and answering my questions. So I will ask, Mr. Chair, if you'd like, I'll just make a motion to approve the bylaws as listed in the consent agenda.
Yes, I just wondered, are you satisfied with the response? We don't need Ryan to add anything?
Nope. If that language was simplified, then
Okay.
Great.
Thank you both. Please offer the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move to approve sorry, I want to make sure I have it correct on here. The updated behavioral health policy council bylaws as submitted in the consent agenda.
Thank you. Proper motion. Don't believe there's any further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes 2-0. Thank you, Laura and Ryan. Alrighty. We don't have any commissioner guests. We can now move on to discussion items. There is one discussion item concerning approval of the Colorado Secure Transportation LLC Behavioral Health Secure Transportation License and Vehicle Permit. Welcome back. You didn't go very far, Ms. Walker.
Thank you. Again, I'm Laura Walker, the Human and Economic Health Director for the county and currently Interim Director for our Behavioral Health Services Department. So just as a reminder for the board, There was a state law passed in 2022 that gave counties the responsibility for licensing and permitting of transportation services that would be providing secure transportation to folks in a mental health crisis who need to transport to services in lieu of having them needing to take emergency vehicles or ambulances to get to those services. And so we're bringing our third application for such a permit and license. As the Commissioner mentioned, for Colorado Secure Transportation LLC is the name of the organization. They are asking for a single vehicle to be licensed and a single permit to go along with that. And to remind the board too, all of the materials that are required, we've ensured through Ryan Barstow, our operations business ops coordinator for behavioral health. They have complied with all of the requirements for their full application and have vetted all of the safety considerations and the training of staff that would be driving the vehicle. And so we are bringing this to you. The permit will last for 1 year, as is required by the way that the statute is written, and the permit for the vehicle, or the license, for the vehicle will last for 3 years. So those materials are there with the board, and we are asking for approval for this license to have additional services of this caliber in our community.
Thank you, Laura. Any questions or comments, Commissioner?
Thank you, Laura, and thank you, Ryan, for all your work on this. I know each one's a process, and I appreciate getting these done. When you say it's one vehicle, do they have any other licensures or operating in any other counties, or is this one vehicle and we're the only one that they operate in?
No, actually, they already operate in multiple other counties. Let me see if I can find where my notes are. I believe Pueblo County and Arapahoe County. Ryan might have to verify for me. Oh, here we go. Their service is based in Pueblo and Aurora as far as their home office or their home, working space. But then they are asking to be able to serve our county as well as Weld, Arapahoe, Denver, Douglas, Boulder, El Paso, Otero, Alamosa, Huerfano, Fremont, and Jefferson counties. They want to be a comprehensive service provider that can take people longer distances, especially I think from some of the more rural areas that don't have as many of these services embedded in them.
Okay, that's great. And are they new or they've been established for a while? Just curious.
I don't know the age of the organization, and I'm not sure that that's part of the materials, but I'm reflecting back to my colleague Ryan to see if that's a question that's asked on the applications or not, how long the business has been in existence.
Welcome, Ryan. Would you please identify yourself for the record?
Yeah, I'm Ryan Barstow, Business Operations Coordinator for Behavioral Health Services. The age of the organization is not currently a question on the application, so okay. I don't know for sure, and I can't say with certainty that they're already in operation. Based off of the information that's on HCPF's website about current providers in Colorado, they haven't been listed yet, so I don't know if that's due to the fact that this will be their first license or if it's due to the fact that HCPF just hasn't put it onto their website yet.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and because I know this is kind of new and they're popping up, so I'm just thinking this is due diligence to understand who's operating. So my other question is, and maybe you don't know the answer, but I'm just curious, since they're going to be in multiple counties and probably transporting from rural counties into other counties, are they, so they can transport with the licensure, they can transport across county lines, or is their licensure only for operating and transferring inside our county to our areas or out? I don't remember how that law was written.
Sure, and great question. So the licensure is based off of where the service picks up an individual. So in this case, having the license in Larimer County allows them to pick up individuals in Larimer County, but it doesn't dictate where they can transport an individual to. However, if they want to, for instance, pick an individual up in Boulder County and bring them to any other surrounding county, they would need a license in Boulder County as well.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
And Ryan, you used an acronym twice without identifying what it stands for and why that's important regarding this particular secure transportation service. Would you clarify that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that. So I said HICPUF, which stands for, it's the Colorado State Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing, which is responsible for running the Medicaid program.
Great. Thank you very much. Anything else, Commissioner?
No, thank you. Right.
Then, thank you both. I believe we're ready for the motion. Please offer that.
I move to approve the behavioral health secure transport license and one vehicle permit for Colorado Secure Transportation LLC.
Great. Thank you. Proper motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes 2-0. Well done, team. Well, my goodness, moving right along. We'll now ask our County Manager, Lorenda Volker, to give us a bit of an update.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'll keep it brief. I did some coordination with other organizations over the last week, as I typically do. Last week, I had the opportunity to meet with the Poudre School District Superintendent, the City Manager for the City of Fort Collins, and then our Clerk and Recorder, Tina Harris. I meet with the elected officials here quarterly, and those are always very informative meetings. Internally, we also had our Strategic Leadership Committee meeting and our department head meeting. We talked a lot about some upgrades that are being made to some of our software systems. You might recall that we're required to upgrade our timekeeping system, and we have a policy management system that is rolling out this week to ensure that all employees have access to all the policies. So we saw some demos, we talked a lot about that, and we're able to give those two groups some feedback. So that is all I have to report. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorenda. Any questions or feedback for our County Manager?
Just thank you, Lorenda, for all the work that you do and working with our partners. That's all I have to say. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. All right, we'll move on to Commissioner activity reports. Commissioner Shaddock McNally, you're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to start back on Tuesday. I was really grateful to have some conversations in the afternoon and with some constituents and recognizing there's lots happening. But I just wanted to tell folks that, we work for you, and it's always great to have phone calls and emails and a time to meet in person and hear from the things that you are concerned about. So I wanted to just thank folks for reaching out, and Tuesday I had a couple of those meetings. So I just really appreciate folks, give me a call and let me know how things are doing. On Wednesday, I'm really grateful we got to hang out and meet some of candidates and things that maybe be our behavioral health director, potentially a new behavioral health director, but it was a chance to connect with other people in the community and have conversations. And then the afternoon, I had our National Association of Counties Environment, Energy, Land Use, our monthly conference call, and we're still talking about PFAS and water quality and waters of the U.S. and things that are able to do and address the different kinds of PFAS that are found in water, groundwater, and reservoirs and wells and aquifers, and there's a lot of companies now and trying to separate all the different kinds of PFAS, and it gets pretty complex, but we're continuing to have that conversation at a national level and still advocating for what we can to do to really push for water quality across the country, since we have rolled back a lot of those protections. And so I wanted to just make note of that. I won't go into all the details because I still find it a little dizzying, all the different types of PFAS. And so it's, I'm just glad that there are some organizations that are looking to help with local governments on addressing this, because it is a serious issue. I was very grateful to be able to go out to the ranch and say farewell to a long-term employee and connect with folks out there at the ranch. And I just want to wish Mark farewell and good work and thank you. And it was interesting just to connect with all kinds of folks and just take a moment to celebrate some great work done at the county. And I just wanted to say well done to all the staff and just appreciate the opportunity to take a moment to socialize and connect with them a little bit and just, appreciate their work, because sometimes we're in meetings and we don't always get to take a moment and thank them and take a chance to wish them well. And then I ran to CSU and spoke with the board of the Associated Students of Colorado State University. There's a new board, lots of new students who just won re-elections or elections, and they asked me to come speak about transition times and some of the work that I do. I talked a lot about forest health, behavioral health, and it was a great opportunity to chat with them all. And then I stayed and hung out at the Democracy Summit that CSU was doing and spoke with Dr. Martine Carkisson and some other folks. And it was just really glad to see that Democracy Summit and meet with saw a lot of the activities and got to come in and out of some of them. But I wish I could have stayed longer that day. That was really a great summit, and I'm hoping they'll do that again. I thought it was really well done. And thanks again to President Nick DeSilva and Vice President Braxton Dietz for the invitation. Talk about a couple of energetic and very passionate, hardworking gentlemen, and I appreciate all of them and their leadership. They've been doing a really great job, and so appreciate the invitation again. On Thursday, we had our CCI steering committee meetings. There's a lot's happening, and we had some pretty robust conversations. And I won't go into all the bills because there's just a lot happening. And there are Larimer County Interagency Oversight Group had our meeting. I attended that virtually. Lots of great work, but there's still a lot of not only volume but acuity of some of these youth and their families, and so we had a lot of discussion about budget and the groups that are all working together. There had some subcommittees to look at what they can do to kind of find some savings, and it might be, just for heads up for my colleagues, since we don't get to talk about these things other than in public meetings. It is kind of something we might have to look at because there's a need, but not enough, funding for some of that work. For some of these student youth and their families who might have to be on waiting lists to receive some services. So I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that. But it's such great and powerful work and great outcomes. And I really, all the partners that come together from all the different agencies across the county that deal with these issues with youth in crisis, I think they do a phenomenal job, and the collaborations are just outstanding. I went in person for the Office on Aging Advisory Council meetings. I wanted to share with you, Commissioner Cafals, that the Office on Aging has been partnering with CSU and did kind of a study where they went out into rural areas of the county. I know that's really important for both of us to get services and reach out to the rural areas, and actually met with folks one-on-one where they were at to kind of understand how maybe they know about our services or need more services, how they wish to connect. And a lot of it is things that you and I already know because we're out in our communities talking with a lot of folks. But now they're going to dive down and deep into the data and data points. And I think that will come and be presented to us as a full board. So that will be something we'll get to hear about. And it was... I guess not new news for me, but it was interesting, and they're really passionate about it, and I think staff are excited about it, and the board, the advisory council's excited about it because they really want to try to reach folks and where they're at, make sure they have services and and creating social connection in each of those communities. And so I really appreciated that focus and energy, and so I wanted to share that's going to be something presented to us soon. And then we had our commissioners and counties acting together all-member meeting, which I only could attend half, but there's a lot, like I said, between CCI and CCAT, we're very busy with the legislative session. And then on Friday, we were able to I attended some of the CCI meetings virtually. I went quietly over to the Democracy Expo to make another quick stop by the expo in the morning with the breakfast and stuff. And then I stopped by I contacted some of the volunteers that were setting up for the Northern Colorado powwow and their 30th anniversary, and it was great to thank some of those volunteers who worked really hard on that. Yesterday, I had our prescribed fire subcommittee meeting, which is a subcommittee between the Colorado Forest Health Council and the Colorado Fire Commission, and we have a subcommittee discussing this common ground that we have on this area, and it was a robust conversation, and I will just leave it there. There's a lot happening, and there's been some staffing changes at the Department of the Fire Commission group, and so that will probably pause our work a little bit as they get someone else on board. But we have an outside group that helps facilitate those meetings, and so we will be having another one here soon. And one thing that's going to be discussed going forward is kind of mapping of all the piles that are in all the different counties where they might be, and where they're located at in the different areas that need to be burned or dealt with as slash. And so that's just another GIS tool that the state's working on, or this proposed idea from this subcommittee about how we track all of that. And that's all I have, Mr. Chair. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll just, a couple of things. Just yesterday, I was at CSU, and I had the privilege of speaking with a 500 level MSW, Masters of Social Work class, regarding what the county does, the role of commissioners, and answering questions as best as I could regarding issues that are important to the students. So that was a great opportunity. On Friday, had the LaPorte Community Conversation at the American Legion Post. We had about 20 folks. You can read about it in the paper today, but basically the topic had to do with the LaPorte schools, the Cache Laputa Elementary and Middle School, and discussions around possible closure of schools, consolidation of schools, and I thought it was a very constructive, insightful gathering. In the afternoon, I did stop by Foothills Unitarian Church for their ribbon cutting ceremony. They've added a whole new section of the church, and it was packed. It was a nice event. They had some speakers, and I'm glad I was able to stop by. And then I guess, on Friday, I also attended the 30th. It was the 30th annual powwow, the Northern Colorado Intertribal Powwow Association, all weekend at Azatlan, Northside Azatlan Community Center. And I was grateful that I had a chance to offer some welcoming comments after the first grand entry number one. I think that's sufficient. So with that, we'll move on to legal matters. We do have one item. A decision is expected. And so, Commissioner, if you would offer the motion that allows us to go into executive session. And the way this works is we will be in executive session, and then when we're done, we'll come back out of executive session, and our deputy county attorney will provide a summary of the conversation, and then we'll have a motion to determine the outcome in a public setting. So with that, Commissioner, please offer the motion to move us into executive session.
I move that the Larimer County Board of County Commissioners moves into executive session pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 24-6-4024B, conference with an attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice about court case number 23-CV-258, John Coy Deming versus Staci Shaffer et al.
Great. Proper motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll now move into executive session, and after we're done with our deliberation, we'll come back. Thank you all for participating this morning, and wishing you a good day.
Correct.
All right, we're back live, broadcasting, recording. We just completed an executive session. We'll ask our Deputy County Attorney to summarize the conversation, see if we have any questions, any further questions, and then we'll offer the motion. David?
Commissioner David Aero, Deputy County.
Oh, could you turn the podium mic back on, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner David Aero, Deputy County Attorney. We went into executive session briefly. It was for me to give the board some background information on a new complaint and lawsuit that was filed against Larimer County, in particular Captain Staci Shaffer, and to go through the legal claims, our defenses, and potential strategy in that course. We have asked the board to approve our office to defend and for the county to indemnify Staci Shaffer in this matter and authorize us to seek co-counsel if appropriate.
Thank you, David. Commissioner, any comments or questions? Then I believe we're ready for the motion. Would you offer that, please?
I move that the Board of County Commissioners authorize the county attorney to defend Staci Shaffer in her individual and official capacities and provide full indemnity to her, including punitive damages, in the John Coy Deming case, U.S. District Court, case number 23-CV-258, and further move that Bruno, Collin, Goddard, and Lowe be retained as co-counsel.
Thank you, Commissioner. Proper motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That passes 2-0. I believe we have completed our business for this morning. It is 9:50 a.m. and we are adjourned. Thank you, Cassidy. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you very much.